Hi, it's me. It's Mifa. The world's on fire. The world's on fire. And I talk about stuff like this a lot, and this isn't even going to be a political sense. This is going to be a Mother Nature is screaming for you to do something sense. Because frankly, I am tired of feeling like the only person doing anything. I'm so tired of it. So recently, Mother Nature has been getting to me so much. Not necessarily in a bad way, but in a way of every time I open my phone, something else is on fire or ruined or some dumbass did something awful. And so I started digging holes in my yard and I look crazy. And that's fine because I'm at least doing something, unlike the people looking at me going, I'm not gonna lie, I've been taking leaves from my front yard and my backyard, from my very high tree dense area I live in, and taking them to my backyard and digging holes in the backyard and then filling the holes with leaves and then a little dirt and then some more leaves and a little dirt and then some more leaves and then a little dirt. Side note, my yard has never looked so fucking clean in its life. So if you're not even like a composting person, it will make your yard look so fucking clean and give you the most beautiful dirt. Okay? Okay. So I've been digging holes to fill with leaves to then compact more and put dirt and then more leaves and then dirt and then more leaves and then dirt. And the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I hate the world, I hate the world, I hate the world, I hate the world, I hate the world. Because I feel like I'm the only person doing anything. And I'm really starting to get annoyed by it. And so what I'm doing in this video to my, I don't know how many subscribers I have. How many subscribers do I have? Not a lot. I'm telling all of you, if you have a yard, go in the yard, dig holes, put the leaves in the holes. Even if you don't have trees and leaves because you live in hell, you know, those real packed little houses that are built like crap. I hate those. Literally, you purchase fruit, your fruit goes bad, cut it up into little cubes. I'm assuming because you live in an area that's hell. You don't have animals. Go bury that in the dirt. Go bury it in the dirt. It's better for the nutrients, it's better for the soil, it's better for everything involved. If you're like me and you drink an insane amount of coffee every day, and your family drinks an insane amount of coffee every day, dump the grounds in your yard. Just dump the grounds in the yard. Because I'm starting to look a little like a pirate. Go dump the grounds of your coffee in the yard. Take your tea bags, squeeze out the water, chuck into the yard. Even if they are plastic filters, they're mesh and they're meant to break. Is it the best thing in the world that they're plastic? No. Can you control if they're plastic or not? You as an individual person? No. You can't. And that's depressing. I know. But simply just throw it in the yard. Dig a hole and throw it in the yard. If you're like me, you have a shit ton of clay in your yard. Just sit there and dig holes. You don't even need like a shovel. You can simply sit there with like a coffee ground container and go chick, chick, chick. I was doing that the other day because the clay was too heavy for me. And yeah, I'm probably gonna start filming myself every couple times I go out there because I've been going out there every single day for several hours a day digging holes. And guess what? I'm gonna do it all over my backyard. I'm gonna do it all over my front yard. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna bring up the corners of my yard and fix flooding issues with leaves. Am I gonna look crazy? Sure. Am I gonna save a lot of leaves in my neighborhood, in my area, with all the trees I have, from like flying away into a place where they can't decompose, where they could possibly cause people boo-boos with like stupid shit? Yeah, I am. In fact, while I've been digging up all these roots, if you're like me and your house has foundation issues, guess what? You dig a bunch of holes in your yard, you find a bunch of roots, you trim the roots. Trim the roots, they won't grow to your house. I know a lot of you are probably going to be paranoid and cut off all the roots. If the roots are thin, please redirect them to the tree. If they're not, if they are thicker than your arm, like roots I keep having to dig up, just trim them. If you get them on a flat edge, they can't really grow back. Same thing with like tree branches, if you didn't know that. Or they take forever. And by then you'll probably be back at that spot because the leaves decomposed under the ground and you're putting more leaves down. What I'm saying is, all of you should go outside and start digging holes and burying leaves. If you're not doing that, you should go outside and start throwing your coffee grounds in the yard. If you're like me and you have funny spots in your yard that just don't grow grass for some damn reason, throw them in that spot. What I'm saying is, I encourage people a lot of times to do as much as they possibly can with the earth. I tell you every single day, I love the earth. I fucking love her. I love world peace, and I love taking care of her. But truly, it's all of us as a collective against the fucking corporations putting all the boo-boos in the air. Yes, I'm calling it boo-boos because I don't want to fuck up my word, but you know what I'm talking about. And yes, should they be doing that? No, they should not. By any means, they should not. Can we, as a collective, start digging holes in our yards and putting leaves in the holes and filming ourselves even put leaves in the holes and make it a whole fucking thing? Yep. Because then, at least if we're all screaming about how we're digging holes and putting leaves in the holes and doing all this shit, guess what? Guess fucking what? They're gonna see that as a trend on the internet. And what do corporations do when they see a trend on the internet? What do they do? What do? They capitalize. They capitalize. They try to make themselves look good. They try to market and make ideas to make them seem like the hot shots they're not. And guess what? If we all did it, and we just let them keep trying to be the hot shots they're not, maybe, just maybe, they'll fix their own fucking issue. I'm not saying that's a guarantee. I am saying that's the hope. I'm saying that's the hope. I'm saying that as someone who doesn't have that much influence to other people. Film yourself digging holes in your yard. Make the corporations feel bad and guilty and sad. Because they should. They should. They cause like 99% of the fucking problem. An individual human life, an individual person, cannot cause that much fucking carbon. And like, and fucking just, ugh. They can't. So to that, and to all of you, please, pretty please, pretty please, go outside and dig holes. Just dig holes. I'm talking big holes, I'm talking small holes, I'm talking all the holes. Go outside, dig holes. If you don't have a yard, do you have friends that have yards? Do they not have a yard? Well, then I say collect and unify. I say make a group where your whole thing is being mad and digging holes. Ooh, that'd be fun. I don't have one of those. I don't got friends. That's why I do this, though. You know, in my deep love for the environment and hands are green. But yeah, go outside, dig holes. Just try to fix it. Try to fix as much as you can. Stop throwing away things like veggies and vegetables and just all that shit. Bury them in your yard. Over time, you can in fact grow stuff. Especially stuff that's native to your state. Look up the stuff that's native to your state. Start planting that stuff. At the end of the day, we should all become self-sufficient enough that we all have our own little eco bubble at our house. And that's a depressing thought. But I really don't know what else to do. And I'm fully aware of the fact that I'm just one person. And as much as I can be a bitch, and I can really sink my fucking teeth in and dig my heels and scream and cry and throw shit, Mother Nature's been doing that for a while, and people aren't really listening to her. If they are, they're overseas. And that's depressing. It's making me sad. And I'm gonna start crying, aren't I? That's fun. Go outside, dig holes. In between the draft of this video, which will be going first because I am a lot less bitchy, there's gonna be a bunch of footage of my latest holes, and then the first draft of this video because I think people should hear my bitchiness and my anger. But I personally don't want to scare people that aren't used to environmental talk. Okay. I love you. Bye. Be good people. Please start digging holes. Please, if you can. If you can, please. I'm begging you. Please. Bye. This is hard with one hand, is what I'm learning. Bucket of leaves. I'm not putting my hand in it because I have 2 ant bites from this. It's also chilly, so that's a thing I'm not a fan of, honestly. So many leaves, yay! Ew, branch, gross. Goodbye. Now we have to put more dirt from there on there. I made too big of a hole. Isn't this great? Oh, for God's sake. Okay. There's also a giant fucking root here, and I'm not digging that up. No, thank you. And so I'm not making it one big hole. I'm making it 2 holes because there's a fucking root there, and I hate the root. So many leaves. Ugh. Okay. Okay, we're gonna take some of the dirt from there and put it there. Okay. It's all Also very dried out. More leaves. More dirt. I'm tired. Hi, hello, it's me, as always. I always talk about my deep love for the earth and Mother Earth and all that quite a lot. But today we're going to talk about a lot. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and you're going to listen. Okay? So I've been digging a lot of holes in my yard recently. I know, I sound crazy. And you would know this if you follow me on TikTok, where I encouraged everyone else to dig holes in their yard. Realistically, I live in an area with a shit ton of trees. Like, I'm talking a shit ton of trees, which means we get a lot of leaves that are native to the area that need to stay here. And a lot of people don't let them stay here, because why would they do that? It's almost like it's the whole point of an ecosystem. You're fucking up our ecosystem. And so what I've been doing is going in my yard at all hours of the day and the night and any time I fucking want, and digging holes in a grid pattern next to my porch, and taking a shit ton of leaves and burying them into the clay. I live in a high clay dense area, as you probably do as well. And I am telling you, all from the bottom of my heart, if you're like me and you have a fuck ton of anger at the way the world's going at the moment, go outside and dig holes. Dig a lot of holes. Dig all the holes. In fact, the only reason I'm not outside digging holes right now is because it's freezing and windy. But I'm also planning on making a flower bed next to my window out of the clay. From the ground. My ground. The whole world's on fire right now. And Mother Nature is screaming and begging for us to help her. You know how when someone insults your mom, you get defensive and you hit a bitch? Mother Nature is all our mom. Mother Nature is the mother of the trees. Mother Nature is the mother of the dirt, of you and me. Anything that involves producing something else, she is the mother of. And I don't want religious shit in my comments at this time, or any time really, where it's all, God created everything. Because no, he didn't. Who created God? Who created God? Mary did. People are yelling in my house. I'm back. I'm gonna have to edit. Fuck that. Who created God? Mary created God. Did God, Daddy, whoever the fuck that fuck was, help create God? No. No. Because Mary was what? She was the Virgin Mary. So shut the fuck up about your religious shit and let me talk about the plant, okay? Okay. The earth is on fire. Mother Earth keeps screaming and crying and throwing shit in the air and being like, I'm gonna keep creating disasters if someone doesn't slow the fuck down. And I get that a lot of the pollution and issues and lack of recycling and just so many problems are because of giant corporations being inconsiderate, not narcissistic, idiotic pieces of shit. I am more than aware of that. I am also fully aware that there's more of us than there are of them. and push comes to shove, they have to listen. And I get it. We can't all be perfect. I get that. But if we all just go outside and dig fucking holes and help Mother Nature decompose a little to compost and re-nourish her own soul just a little bit. If we all did that, because there's how many people in this fucking world? 8 billion? I'll look it up. I think it's 8 billion. If 8 billion people went out into their local whatever is outside to them, actually let's scrap that to like what, 5 billion, because old people and able bodies. If about 5 billion people went outside and dug a couple holes and buried some leaves and took their coffee grounds and their skins and the food and fruit and such that they don't eat and cut it up nice and dig a hole and bury it, guess what? She would be a lot happier. Would the natural disasters necessarily stop? No. But guess what? Your environment, my environment, our ecosystem as human beings would be a lot better. The USA is one of the few places that don't seem to have any sort of food sifting initiative. No active duty to compost. And we are one of the most, we have some of the shittiest health. We really do. And they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit from the root of the problem. They don't give a shit to the end of the problem. They want you to die. And that's depressing. And I wish I didn't have to say that. But let's look at all angles. Let's look at all the angles. I'm not singling anyone out. I'm not being a bitch. I'm not putting a target on my back saying shoot me. I am saying that we are a giant country that doesn't compost. And a bunch of other giant countries compost. At least a little bit. And they are doing a little bit better than we are. Along with walkable cities and healthy environments and just so much other shit. Like, you don't need to drive 2 blocks. You could walk 2 blocks. Do you have able-bodied legs? Walk it. We have normalized using things like cars so much to the point of every time gas spikes, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, if you have usable legs and where you need to walk to is like a block or 3 away, here's a really good question. Why aren't you walking? Now I get it. If you have some sort of health issue or a boo-boo or something. I get that. I do. I really do. I sympathize. But if your legs work and you're feeling pretty okay about your health and you don't feel like you're gonna drop dead and you feel just fine, you're not sick, and you are awake during the daylight, why do you need to drive 3 blocks just to waste gas to put more shit around us? You might be taking this all very, very like I'm a bitch. And I will admit, I'm being kind of a bitch. Do I like the fact that I have to be kind of a bitch right now? No, not really, not at all, in fact. I like being a nice person. I really do. But as long as I can remember, the plant's been screaming and crying and bleeding out. Do you not like your mother? Do you think God hates women? Do you think God fucking hates all of us? People sit there and they preach, oh, I'm such a good person, but I treat other people like shit. And I throw everything away. And I buy 1,000 things every day. And I drive so much. And I've never picked up a shovel in my life. and I don't get the point of composting, and I don't take care of trees, and I treat roads like crap, and I sit there and I throw away my leaves. I'm rude to everyone. That's what you people sound like when you sit there and you're preaching something that's telling you be a good person, and then you don't. If I were you, and something like God was telling me be a good person, and then I wasn't, I would feel like a giant piece of shit. How do you not live your life feeling completely disgusted? Double checking that my mic is on. So please, I'm asking so much. Go outside, dig holes, fill the holes with leaves, compost a little bit. You don't even have to have a composting bucket with a lid like I do, which was gifted to us from the neighbors who are not there anymore. We for literally decades, as long as my mother has been alive, she's done shit like this. We had an open compost in our backyard, about that big, on the floor. And guess what? It as the religious folks would say, blessed us repeatedly. We got, I think, fucking watermelon one year. Not watermelon, maybe like pumpkins. We got cantaloupe, I know that for a fact. We got food that grew on its own because we simply put it in our backyard, and guess what? We ate that food. It was delicious. I'm starting to sound a lot like a bitch, so I'm gonna start re-recording this, and this will be at the end of the other one.